Good afternoon. My name is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. A good-hearted fellow on LinkedIn asked me a provocative question. He was wondering if one takes refuge from a Tibetan Buddhist teacher, must one practice only Tibetan Buddhism for the rest of one's life to the exclusion of Mahayana and Theravada? What an interesting question. A common theme in my videos is the dichotomy or difference between fundamentalism and liberalism. Like many things, fundamentalism is more than just one thing or two things. You can think of it as a multifaceted diamond. A few of those facets could be fear, superstition, rigidity, perfectionism, intolerance, hostility, aggression. Over the millennia, many religions have come and gone. But those many religions, or the various sects of those various religions, could fit nicely under the heading of fundamentalism or liberalism. Fundamentalist flavors of various religions have often found favor amongst feudalistic governments. Why is that? In feudalism, you have the majority of the people living under the law and the minority of the people living under the law, with the majority of the wealth and the power and the privilege going to the minority, and the lion's share of the drudgery going to the majority. How does feudalism keep that imbalance of power? Throughout the ages, it has relied first on force, and second on fear, and third on superstition. That is why the more fundamentalist forms of faith and worship and philosophy and practice have found favor among the feudalists. Enter Buddhism. The founder of Buddhism was Gautama, who claimed to be neither a god nor a deity, but just a meditator, simply a yogi. His core teachings, the ones I most enthusiastically practice and teach, are simply a meditation manual. And that is all. At the time that Gautama, who would be known as the Buddha, walked the earth, India already had many religions with sects and subsects. It already had numerous priesthoods. The two most popular being the Shivite and the Vaishnava. As years turned into decades and decades into centuries, many people brought Hindu beliefs and Hindu practices into Buddhism. And so much so that as centuries became millennia and we had the rise of the Mahayana in Buddhism, some people began to call it Hinduism light. The Buddhist monks began to trim their hair in the style of the Vaishnava priests, and many of the practices began to trickle into Buddhism. Buddhism is nothing more than a meditation method. According to even Tibet's Dalai Lama, one is not the real refuge. The inner refuge is not to a dead contemplative. It is not to the many practitioners, great or humble, but to the teachings. Not ritualistically, we do not merely bow to a scroll, and the scroll does not sprout rings and muscles and protect us. The true refuge in the teachings comes from applying them. For instance, when people ask me how to lose weight, I recommend a lovely book by Dr. John McDougall, MD, entitled The Starch Solution. However, people purchase the book and put it on an altar and bow before it, they're not going to lose weight. If people read it, they're not going to lose weight. How do they lose weight? By applying the instructions in a book. If you want to become muscular, there's a wonderful book called Convict Conditioning. It's the same thing. If you worship the book, you won't get muscular. If you read the book, you won't get muscular. But if you apply the teachings of the book, you will get stronger and more muscular. Same thing with flexibility. Many people recommend one of Iyengar's books on yoga, but worshiping the book won't make you flexible. Reading the book won't make you flexible. Applying the techniques in the book, that will contribute to your flexibility, your range of motion, your strength, your endurance, your body's structural integrity, and all the benefits one could desire to receive from yoga. Do you notice a pattern here? Same thing with Buddha's teachings. 3 is a prime number, and it is found in many religions. So it is not surprising that the importance of the number 3 found its way into Buddhism. We have the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. Unless you prefer Pali, then you have Buddham, Dhammam, Sangam. Unless I'm mispronouncing it, which is very probable because I'm a horrible linguist. So, what makes us a Buddhist is not a refuge prayer in Sanskrit or Tibetan or Pali or Chinese or any other language. What makes us a Buddhist is our behavior. If we choose to apply the meditation instructions enthusiastically and consistently and humbly, then yeah, we're a Buddhist. If we basically disregard the meditation instructions, or we practice them superstitiously or really in a rigid way, we're really missing the boat. So the thing is, if we practice Buddhism as a superstitious rite, as a way to ensure a good rebirth or a way to avoid a bad rebirth, as a way to ensure wealth or a way to avoid poverty, as a way to ensure health or a way to avoid sickness, we're missing the boat. Buddha's system is basically to make us happy, well-adjusted, vibrant adults. And so, quite frankly, it doesn't matter what I say or what a Tibetan says or what an Indian says or what a Sri Lankan says or what a Mongolian says or what a Japanese says or what a Korean says, and you get the picture. What matters is, do we understand the teachings? Are we applying the teachings? Are we being transformed by the teachings? Are they enriching our lives? If they aren't, then we may want to change the way we approach the teachings, or we may wish to find a teacher whose advice is more meaningful to us. If you have any questions, please write them out in lurid detail in the comment area below. Right below this video is a button that reads Show More. And you click that, you get all kinds of links to all kinds of free stuff, including how to register for my next series of classes. If you live in or near Burbank, you're welcome to come to the next series of classes. If you don't, you're welcome to participate over your webcam via live webinar simulcast. I'm not the only meditation teacher in the world. There are many of us. Find one whose advice is easy to follow and whose results, the results that you generate by applying their advice, you enjoy. As long as there is breath in your lungs, there is an opportunity for more action or different action. It's okay to choose the wrong teacher. If you choose the wrong teacher and enthusiastically applies instructions, after a week, you won't like the results. That's okay. Keep looking for teachers. Keep enthusiastically applying their instructions for a week. Notice the results. And in time, you'll stumble upon a teacher with whom you resonate. Myself, I am what the Tibetans would call a Jigme, or non-sectarian. I've worked with every lineage of Buddhism, within the Theravadan umbrella, within the Mahayana umbrella, within the Vajrayana umbrella. And I can tell you, no one sect or one lineage has all the answers. There are wise men in every lineage, and there are fools in every lineage. There are impotent teachings in every lineage, and there are empowered teachings in every lineage. When I was a little boy, there was I think it was a Pepto-Bismol commercial. When a man goes into a restaurant and said, "I noticed this item on the menu. How do I know I'll like it?" To which the waiter said, "Try it, you'll like it." The man then explained, "I tried it. I didn't like it." And that's how we go through Buddhism. And that's really how we go through life. It's like picking out a movie. I really don't read reviews. I look at the trailer, and if I'm interested, I go to see the movie. Because ultimately, no one's mind is my mind. No one's heart contains my emotions. And I have to be the final judge of which movies I like or don't like, or which novels I like or don't like, or which pets I have greater rapport with. Some people have great rapport with lizards. Other people have great rapport with dogs and cats. There's no right or wrong answer. It's something we have to explore for ourselves. And yes, As months go by, as years go by, as decades go by, different needs will manifest and subside, and preferences will come and go. We must be fearless and flexible in approach. We must be non-superstitious. And if I could, my friend, I would give you the gift of non-superstition. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Good day.